Hi everyone, my name's Mark Deere and I'm back after a week of holidays. It was great being at the beach and we had Christmas yesterday. So today's Boxing Day and I'm here making another video. What I thought I'd talk about, because I'm only a few days away from the 31st of December, which I said I was going to do my 100 videos in 100 days. And I'm only up to about video 67. And so I've got to make 33 videos in 5 days. So it's going to be very interesting. And I thought a great topic to come back with would be arbitrary deadlines. Like, do they matter? Like, is it worth worrying about when you have a million, when you have no one, you don't have a million people, basically just a bunch of strangers and not many of them following your videos. So I've been thinking about this and like genuinely thinking about it. Like, do I need to actually make 100 videos in 100 days? Like, why am I doing it? And there's a lot of stuff to cover with it. So if you haven't seen any of my other videos, the reason I'm talking about this today is that I'm working on a documentary project. I've just been on long service leave from work for almost 4 months now, or 3 and a bit months. And working on the documentary, I said that I'd kind of share my process by just making some random films, like write about what I was thinking about every day. And me and joined by the Mozzies every day, I've made 66, 67 videos so far. My 67th video just is uploading as we speak. And that's the one video I made while I was on holidays. And I thought I could make them on holidays, but I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna have a holiday. This is the only person who's made this deadline is me. I'm not answering to anybody else. Nobody needs these videos. So I didn't worry about shooting, but I kind of probably put a bit of pressure on myself to keep doing it. And here I am on Boxing Day, like everybody else is just chilling at home. So I thought, yeah, I'll come out and make a video or two. Or heaps, who knows? Maybe you'll see 10 of me wearing this outfit. I don't know, we'll see how we go. And so that's the question. It's like when you've set a goal for yourself or when you've set a deadline, because it's interesting. And I have a lot to say on this topic because I guess it's probably something I've always done and always questioned whether it was a good thing to do or not, right? So say you decide I'm going to do something and I'm moving into 2026. So it's going to be a new year and there's going to be a lot of people in the next couple of days because this is Dead Week. Maybe I'll make a whole video about Dead Week. But between Christmas and New Year's, a lot of people have time to sit and think, what am I going to do to make my life better? I don't like this. I want to change this. And they make resolutions for the new year and they have these massive goals. And obviously most people don't do them. And it's funny, I had 2 at the start of last year and I've done both goals. So I was happy about that. Maybe I'll make a video about that too. But yeah, it's like you'll make this goal and the only person who it matters to is you. And the time you make it is different from as time goes on, right? So basically, do I need to make 100 videos? I don't know. I might do it, I might not do it. And I never said I would, well, I've been saying it in almost every video, I'm making 100 videos in 100 days, but that's because I've just been continuing as I go. So when I get to the end of the 100 days and there's not 100 videos, we'll see. Do I keep going or do I cram to get 100 videos done? I haven't decided yet because, again, the only person who it matters if I make the videos is me. So, and I guess the people who are watching, and I really appreciate all the people who've subscribed and all the people who've been watching my videos, but the thing that really matters is the documentary. And the thing that I really want to be doing is making short films. So like, these were kind of a means to an end to kind of share my process and keep me accountable, which I do appreciate. And I guess keep me accountable, do you stay accountable? This is the question we're talking about. And it needs a lot of thinking. So here's the thing. I talked about 2 videos back that I'm leaving classroom teaching after a decade of being a film teacher. And so it's interesting, but I think this probably applied to me. I don't remember when I first heard it or read it in a book, but it was before that, because I do remember when I was making films before that. So for 11 years before I was a teacher, I used to work in video production. I made TV ads and corporate videos and my narrative films. I've been making narrative films for 20 years. That's what my documentary is about. It's 20 years in 2025 since I made my first feature film. And basically, somewhere I heard it, and I tell all my students this, because often I have students come to me, when they're at the end of their schooling, and they'll say, oh, I'm going to go study to be a vet because when I was 12, it's all I wanted to do, and I'm not sure if I want to do it, but it's what I wanted to do when I was 12, so I'm going to keep doing it. And I'll say to them, look, how many 12-year-olds do you know now? And they might be like, oh, no, they might be like, oh, I got a sibling or whatever. I'm like, well, look around. Like, can you see, there's a 12-year-old there. Like, if that kid, that random kid, walked over to you now and said, you should be an engineer, would you go, oh, that's a good idea, okay, it's what you want me to do, so okay, or would you say, get lost, you're a dumb 12-year-old, what do you know about me and my life? But here's the thing, if you made that at 12, the decision you were going to be a vet, when you're 17 or 18 or whatever, like, you at 12 didn't know you at 18, right? Like, and it's the same thing as you go into life, right? So like when I was, I don't know what, definitely by 19, I had a game company and I had it from 19 till 21. And, when I was 19, I would have been like, all I want to do is have this game company, have a heap of success. And it did give me success. I got to go to work at Lionhead Studios and I had success with the game. But somewhere along the way, I realized I don't like the games industry. This isn't the right industry for me. I don't want to work. And now that I've been here, I don't want to do it. And the me 2 years ahead of the me who was dreaming to get there, like me who was dreaming to get there would have been like, you idiot, you're there. What are you doing? But that's the thing. When you're in a different place, you answer differently, right? And so I feel like this kind of idea is what applies to this situation here, right? Like me now, having made 67 videos, this is the 68th video, like having made 68 videos, you know, I know a lot more now than I knew when I started my long service leave. Like coming out of my long service leave, I was absolutely exhausted. Like we'd been working on a musical and I've still never talked about that. Yeah. I've still never talked about that in any videos and I might do that later. But, you know, it was crazy. It was crazy. And so having the break, I was just so exhausted. And it's funny because really I probably shouldn't have gotten straight into making 100 videos in 100 days and working on this documentary. I should have just rested, probably. But I mean, I've loved making these videos. It's been so fun. And I've had just such a great time. It's been really, really enjoyable. And it's been challenging because I'm putting myself on camera, but it's also been really fulfilling, right? So I've enjoyed doing it. But that first day, honestly, I don't even know. Oh, yes, I do. The reason why I have this goal. So why do I have this goal? This is going to end up being a long video that nobody will probably watch, but who knows? You get to see my thinking out loud, which is what I'm doing for these videos. So I got this book, and I might talk about the book in a review. I don't have it with me now. But it was basically a 100 days goal journal. And, you know, it's a specific thing. So I'll do a review of it another day. But the gist of it is every day, at the start of it, you say, here's my goal. And then every day you kind of go, what am I going to get done today towards the goal? And you rewrite the goal. So every day, what is today? I think there's like 5 days to go. I don't know exactly. But, you know, so say in 5 days I will. And every day I would write, have made 100 videos, you know, to share my process while I make the documentary. So I've written that every day. Even while I was on the holidays, I still opened it up every day. And what'd you get done today? Nothing. You know, like in 100 days, I will have made 100 videos. And so it's a very clear goal to me because I've been writing it. I've written it down 95 times in the last 95 days. And so it was only because I had that book and I'd had the book for a few months and I was like, what am I going to do for a project? What am I going to do for a project? And then I must have just gone, oh, I'll start making YouTube videos. I'll just do one of those every day for 100 days. That's about how much thought went into it. And it's been amazing. It's been so great doing them every day. But, you know, I didn't get my first video uploaded until like the 10th day or something. Because remember, or if you've gone back and watched my early videos, I had some issues around uploading. So I kept making videos, but I was behind with my uploading and I kind of never caught it up. I'd been caught up with making videos, but never with uploading. So that's why now I'm 30 behind, but I was 10 behind the whole time, basically every week. So you get to the end of 10 days and you say, in these 10 days, what did I do well? What did I do badly or whatever in the book? So I've kept working towards this goal. And at any time I could have written 90 videos, you know, like just reassess, like change the goal. But I never did because I was like, well, whatever, I'll keep going. This is fine, this is fine. But yeah, I'm at a point now where it's like 5 days to go, 33 videos left to make, 32 videos left to make after this one. So like 32 videos in 5 days. Do I upload, you know, 6 videos a day for the next 5 days? Or do I, and you know, 3 today? Because I've done 1 today and I'll do 2 more and then we're up to date. That's 100 videos in 100 days. But again, is anybody going to watch that? If I upload 6 videos in 1 day, is anybody going to watch all 6 videos? Like I'm going to have all these videos with 0 watches. So it's probably even detrimental to do the 100 videos. But at the same time, I don't know, as a perfectionist, and I've talked about this in other videos, and I don't want to be a perfectionist, but as a perfectionist, you know, achieving the goal I set out to achieve is what I've done my whole life and what I'm still doing. And I mean, I think I'd have more growth probably by not making the videos. And so it's really interesting. And you know, I've said in a lot of these videos, because I'm just thinking out loud, I probably seem really neurotic, you know, because it's like, oh God, you know, he really doesn't know what he's thinking about any of these things. But this is the thing, I'm thinking out loud. And it's interesting talking to an invisible person, which is you who's watching, while I try to figure this stuff out. And it's funny because I've got my video ideas and I've probably got 60 ideas in my phone with notes of what I want to talk about in different videos. So I easily have enough videos, like I can easily do it. But it's kind of like, well, who is that benefiting? And again, like this morning we, you know, got rid of our third car. We got rid of a car we've had for a really long time. And I'll talk about that in another video. But I thought this morning, oh, I could do a really quick episode with the kids, like make a narrative short film with the kids about the car, how it was getting sold and stuff. Or not sold because we gave it away for free, but getting rid of the car. And, but you know, they didn't really want to do it. They're like, nah. And it's Boxing Day. Of course they didn't want to do it. But that's the thing. These videos, I have full autonomy and full control. It's just me and a camera. So I can make as many as I want, however often as I want, right? So long as I have my other priorities taken care of as well. And so where I would prefer to be making short films, the short films you're relying on others. Whereas with this, I'm not. And it's still, you know, you still get a creative fix by doing these videos. But here's the thing, and I've thought this before I was a teacher. I didn't really think it while I was a teacher very much. And that's why I liked teaching, because I could still have enough creative energy for writing, and I could still have enough creative energy to work on other projects like the web series we made, because teaching is really not that, doesn't require that much creativity, right? Like, you can be creative in the way you do things, but it doesn't consume your well of creativity, right? Whereas for the 11 years before that, when I worked in film doing TV ads and corporate videos, I used to say this all the time, because we made feature films. We made 5 feature films. I've talked about this in too many videos. We made 5 feature films, and the year our fifth feature film came out, which was 5 in 5 years. Now it's 5 in 20 years, but it was 5 in 5 years. And the year it came out, I started my first real job, like with a real position doing work, where I was getting paid as a salaried employee to do video work. And it's funny how in that time, as soon as I was working for real, it's like it used just enough of my creativity that I had nothing left in the tank to keep working on creative projects outside of work. Because you work on a TV ad, and some of those ads we made were great, you know, but you know, you'd spend all your time thinking about a great concept and how you could make it, you know, funny or interesting or heartfelt or communicate emotion, whatever you had to do in that 30-second TV ad spot. And you were getting paid a lot of money to do it. So that was where all your best ideas went. And then, yeah, like, it's like the well was dry. The well was dry. And so I think about doing these videos, and it's like, am I using just enough of my creativity doing these videos that there's nothing left in the tank to go home and work on writing? You know, I'll go home, work on the documentary, whatever, to work on what I want to do, which is narrative projects. And that's going to be my 2026. In 2026, I'll make short films, and I might make videos supporting those short films, and maybe I'll do a video like this once a week or something, but certainly not, you know, 1 or 2 a day, which is what I've been doing. And so I'm getting so mozzie bitten. It's funny. It rained the last couple of days, and so there's mosquitoes everywhere. There's always mosquitoes. They're our friends, right? Anyway, so that's the other way I'm thinking, is like, you know, if I do the 100 videos and make it, great. Then I can kind of close the chapter on that and start making narrative films. You know, we're about to move to Brisbane. I'm going to get a pool of actors around me, and I'm just going to as I come up with ideas, we'll make new films, and I'll try to do, you know, them regularly, like 1 a week if I can. And it'll be great. I'm really excited about that. And I want to help others make. That's another thing I'll make a video about, which is together. I want everyone making films with me in 2026. And I'm going to do a course about it, but I'm also going to do a project which everyone can do who watches the channel. So it's going to be really fun. But that brings me back to arbitrary goals. Arbitrary goals. Do they serve any purpose? You know, if you change. So me now, compared to me 68, well, more than that, 95 days ago, I'm a different person. I've had 3.5 months of leave. I've been having a break and a holiday from my job. I just got back from a week at the beach. I'm a different person now than I was the week before I went to the beach. And my attitude towards this changed. It's like, do I need to do, and I know I don't need to. So it's kind of like, okay, do I call this video 68 and say, it's now 70 videos in 100 days, you know, like, which is fine. Nobody's gonna judge me for stopping. Nobody cares, it's just me. And I really don't know, because I got a list of 60 ideas and I know I'm gonna do short films, maybe I just do them because I said I'd do it. Maybe I'm neurotic, I don't know. How do you make a decision? But I've thought about this a lot, and I've talked with Candy about it before, because she's like, you know, the harder thing is to not do the 100 videos. For me, the harder thing is to just stop and not do the 100 videos. I'd be interested, anyone, because there's a lot of you guys who've watched all of my videos, right? Or like almost all of my videos so far. What do you think? Do you think it'd be crazy if I just stopped? Or do you think it'd be crazy if I kept going and made 30 videos and uploaded 6 a day for the next 5 days? You know, would you rather I just bleed out the goal and go to 150 days and do the 100 videos and just call it the 100 video project or something? I don't know. Again, like, once I move, I don't know if I can't come to locations and stuff quite as easily in Brisbane. I'd have to get location permits to set up a tripod, you know? So as opposed to in this small town where nobody, if anything, people are like, that's amazing, as opposed to, what are you doing? Where's your permit? Which is what it was like when I lived in Brisbane and Melbourne. So it'll just be a completely different thing there. And so here I can still get them done. So again, because I can, should I? I don't know. I really don't know. But I do think doing something just because you said you'd do it. So me 100 days ago said I'd make 100 videos in 100 days. It's not like I'd been planning to do that for 3 years. I hadn't been planning to do it for 3 days. I just was like, oh, that'll be a good idea. I'll do 100 videos in 100 days. And off I went. And it was a good project, but that's another thing I've got a thing to make a video about, is did I just fill my long service leave with more work when I should have probably rested and done soul searching and growth, you know? I feel like I've still grown. And I've had so much fun. I've had so much fun making these videos. They don't feel like work at all to me. I really, really enjoy making them, and I enjoy interacting with everyone. And I said I wanted to build a community, and I feel like the beginnings of that have started taking place, right? Like, I've set up so that people can sign up for my email list. So you can go to markdeary.com and you can, you know, sign up to hear from me. So next year I'm going to do a lot more, you know, that to try and build a community. I'll email you know, my list of people who want to hear from me if I'm not doing daily videos, you know. Anyway, I haven't reached a conclusion. I've just talked about it for, I don't know how long it's been, but I hope, regardless of what I do, that I don't next year be like, why did I do that? You know, like beat myself up about it. Like if I stop, because in the past, if I didn't do something and failed, I'd be like, no, if I'd just done, you know, I'd ruminate about it, and I don't really want to do that. I'm like, once I make a decision, like I'll keep making videos for now, just because I'm doing it, you know, like, and I'm enjoying it. But yeah, I think, yeah, if I don't get to 100, I'm going to make sure that that's not a decision I make lightly. Like I'm going to be like, well, this is what I did, and I'm deciding it because I want to grow, because I want to not be like I always was before. I'm trying to improve as a person. I'm trying to improve as a human being. Like, this is the thing, leaving the classroom is the right thing for me to do. I talked about that in another video, just because it's time, you know, it's just time for a change. And I think completely changing, it's like, I'm just obviously the right age for it, you know, like I've been reading a few books about that sort of thing lately, and you know, all signs point to it's the right time to change. You know, like my kids, my youngest daughter is 8 turning 9. So it's like my kids aren't little anymore, and it's just the right time, you know, and I'm just ready for creativity in my life again. Anyway, I think I'm going to end it there. Maybe I'll get to 100, maybe I won't. I don't know. But if I don't, it's because I decided that goal's not important to me anymore. It's like the 12-year-old saying to the 18-year-old, or even worse, like, you know, those people are like, I wanted to be a doctor my whole life, when they're 40 and they don't quit being a doctor because they wanted to do it from when they were 5. It's like, if a 5-year-old told you to do something else, you would be like, haha, you have no idea what you're talking about, kid. And they don't. You're the one who knows you now, you know? And that's what should probably most heavily influence this decision. It's like, me now is not the same as me 95 days ago. It's not the same as me 7 days ago. So if I make the decision, well, it's because I think it's the right thing to do now, you know? And there's no reason to beat myself up if I don't do it. If I do it, I don't know if it's me falling back on old patterns or me just doing it because it's fun and because I know I have an opportunity now to do it, whereas I haven't planned to shoot a short film. I haven't planned to shoot a feature film. I haven't planned creative projects right now. I haven't planned, you know, how my course stuff's all going to work, and I'm all going to do that next year. So that stuff's waiting. So I kind of feel like this is just part of the holiday while I figure it out. Anyway, that is my thinking for now. I absolutely want to hear from you in the comments today. What do you think? Do you think once you set a goal, you have to achieve it, or you're a failure if you don't? Do you think if I stop doing videos, it'd be done? Do you want to see another 30 videos from me in the next 5 days? Like, if you do, let me know, because it'll help motivate me, I guess, because I'll know at least somebody wants them, as opposed to me just doing it because it's a random goal I set for myself and nobody's going to watch them anyway. So we'll see how we go. Anyway, Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas. I hope you had a good Christmas. I hope Dead Week for you is going to be good. And yeah, let's hope it's good for me too, because I'll have to make 30 videos in the next 5 days. So we'll see how we go. I know I'm going to make a bunch, because I think Candy said she'll sit down with me and go through all those scripts, which I talked about in my the video where I sold my house, because we found all our old work. So we'll talk about our old projects, and there's 10 videos right there, let alone the 60 on my list. So plenty of things to talk about, plenty of videos to make. Will I make them? I don't know. Just talked for a long time and still didn't reach a conclusion out loud with you guys. But right now, I think I'm going to keep going. Like, as I sit right now, I'm like, look, I'm just going to keep going, because it wraps it up with a bow. And even if that's for unhealthy reasons, that's okay. I'll deal with that later. I'm having fun. You know, time here is limited, right? Because we're leaving on the 20th, so I'll have 20 days to pack up my house if I shoot for the next, 3 days and edit for the next 5 days. So that's my thinking out loud. Great seeing you all today. I hope everyone's having a really good break, and we'll see you in the next video.